My brother used to cover my ears at night. I now know the disgusting reason why. I thought it was normal that my brother would pin me down on my bed and place his hands over my ears while I slept. We would sit like this for hours before he would finally let go. I now know the horrifying reality of what he was doing to me. I never found out why he did this, but the older I got, the more everything appeared to fall into place. My mom and dad were a seemingly happy couple, but I knew they must have been having an argument or a fight. I would soon discover that the real reason was so much more horrifying. I knew Bronnie wouldn't tell me why, so I decided to start spying on my parents. This was something I did every free minute of the day, but I found nothing. The only useful thing I gained from all this wasted time were my mom's favorite railing positions, but there was nothing else. The way they talked to each other made it seem like everything was perfectly fine. The only times I knew something was wrong were when Bronnie would visit and cover my ears. I could have just asked Bronnie what he was doing, but that's not really how a kid's mind works, or at least it wasn't how my mind worked. The way I saw it, I had to make an effort to figure this out on my own, like all those clever young detective nerds on TV. Over the years, I got better at sneaking around the house unnoticed, and I learned how to walk without making any sound whatsoever. Which is why tonight, I decided I would creep up to Bronnie's bedroom and peek in through the keyhole. At first, everything looked normal, but as my eyes moved to his desk, I saw it. His laptop was opened, and there was a video playing on it. I knew I had to see what it was, so I opened his door and walked over to his desk. After some consideration, I pushed play. This would soon become the biggest mistake of my entire life. At first, it took me a second to realize what I was seeing. There was a man strapped to a table, completely unclothed. He was in a bright white room with a mirror next to him. Suddenly, though, another figure walked into frame. They were wearing a mask and a crimson uniform. They pulled gloves out of their pocket and put them on. By this point, everything in my body was telling me to stop watching, but I continued anyway. The figure picked up a scalpel from the table and started making large cuts into their flesh. I watched as the man first lost his fingers and then his arms. His screams filled the room as blood spilled all over the once white floor. I couldn't take it anymore. I closed the laptop and quickly ran back to my room and locked the door. I couldn't believe what I had just seen. Fear quickly consumed me as I tried to think of any reason why my brother would be watching a video like that. At first I considered that it could be a movie, but I deferred. The sounds of bones breaking and flesh being ripped through were too real to be from a movie. Maybe he had a reason to explain all of it, but I knew I couldn't ask him. There was only one option I had left. The next morning when Bronnie wasn't home, I went into the kitchen to speak to my dad. I told him about the video I had seen, and I told him about everything. At first, his face turned to a nervous expression, and it was like he was worried about something. But it quickly changed to one that was more calm and relaxed. You don't need to worry about that. Bronnie is taking a criminology class this year, and that's just something they have to show people. He said in an innocent tone, "Are you sure though, Dad? It looked so real and there was so much blood?" I replied back, still not convinced. "Well, of course it looks real. How else do you think people are supposed to get used to being around blood?" He said back. That answer made sense to me and made me start to reconsider everything. Maybe I was wrong, and maybe it really was just for his college class. I decided to brush it off and just forget about it all. After that talk with my dad, it was like the visits from Bronnie at night stopped. Normally they would happen twice a month, but there hadn't been one in 3 months. That was until tonight. Now usually I would be asleep when he visited, but tonight was different. It was summer break, so I was still awake handling business in the bathroom when I heard